What is up, guys and girls? So here we have part 2 of the clocked at 32 miles per hour trophy achievement, and I need to say before we get started that if you haven't watched the first episode of this, some things are not going to make sense because I explained how I changed the location of my hotels. Pretty much you build the hotels from the edge of the island towards the center, so you have space for all your shops. So if you don't quite know what I'm talking about, then head to the first video around halfway when I go to do the hotels, and I do a clip of the other video there. You can see my hotels are top right. They are a bit close. So instead of putting them there, just build a road all the way to the back and then put them at the back. And that way you'll have space, like I said, for some shops and stuff. Okay, so here we're getting into pens 1 and 2 again for the Ankylosaurus. And just remember, there's a host of information in the description, including the guides to the paddocks and which dinosaurs and how many are in each one. And I'm currently going to release a video as well just after this about all the dinosaurs in the park, which ones can be paired up with which ones, and that's going to be over 300 dinosaurs in one park. Well, I've just disabled everything on the sandbox mode and just focused on trying to find out which dinosaurs are friendly with each other. Well, not necessarily friendly, sometimes they just, coexist in the same area, and I'll get into that in the next video. See, again, at this point, I do the research, and you definitely need the arcade, because that is a fun factor of 4. So here you see the construction of paddock 4. Slowly getting it ready. Sending out your dig teams, obviously essential.
Sometimes, to get all the things we want, we have to be willing to pay a little more. That's true of our operations here as well. I'm sure you understand.
So yeah, even the dig sites will take a back seat once you get to the crunch time, nearing the end. And like I was saying before, a lot of things I'll do differently. I'd make sure these roads are straight. This gives you more space to actually put down shops, or easier to put down shops. Whereas if it's curved, you're going to have troubles. And I'm curious to see myself if I'm going to start that Jurassic difficulty. And I think subconsciously I'm definitely going to give it a bash. There is the large substation. And there is research down here for the disease, and that should take priority pretty much over everything. At this stage especially. If you don't have the medicine for a sick dinosaur, you're going to be in trouble because it spreads very, very quickly. So at this point I'm still cancelling contracts, although I don't really need to because the money's flowing.
Foundation on which the Jurassic World properties are built. And oh, look, what have we here? A contract.
So checking out the management view there, I can see that we're in dire need of a restaurant. So again, just to reiterate, the hotels need to be further back, and that gives you tons of room for all your shops. It makes it so much easier.
Only as strong as our weakest link, and that can't be you. Understand? Get your rep up by taking a contract. Do something.
Quick note on the contracts again, is normally I would just go for the one that I have the least of, the least reputation. But like I was saying before, it's going to become something that you're not going to be touching pretty much from now on. I wouldn't even bother cancelling because the cash is there.
Really great job on that contract.
And it just takes up time. I apologize if you can hear my washing machine, but got to utilize these days off. Back to the research, and it looks like we're going to do the Triceratops. No, we're not going to do that one because we're not actually going to use him. Bloody contracts.
And have I got one for you?
I would probably do the time upgrade.
This contract can really help our bottom line.
There we go. Okay, research is done on the disease as well. I would put the substation just to the left, top left of that particular hatchery, kind of in that little groove it has. You've got to put those things in the correct places. Although this side isn't really the viewing side, like I mentioned in my previous video. All the shops and everything are on one side of the paddocks.
I can't think, which means I'm not gonna try.
And the hatcheries are on the south side, if we're going to call it that, north and south. I don't think there is another fossil that I research.
I know you're busy, but this opportunity is just too good to pass
Actually,
up.
yes, the Metricanthosaurus definitely needs to be researched, and those two do not. Okay, so we're looking strong so far, although I only did do this in 2 hours 57 minutes by the skin of my teeth. But then when I started a new game, under the hard difficulty, which gives you 8 hours, I finished it in probably just over 4.5, around there. So I'm hoping that the knowledge of doing these two, or these runs, is going to help with the Jurassic difficulty. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just going to follow the same strategy that I'm doing with these ones. But I can assume it'll be at a greatly reduced pace. So again, with the powers, I would build a road straight down all the way to the bottom of the island and put these guys left and right down a straight road. Putting it like that is just blocking path space, blocking space behind it. It's not a good place. So build the roads out from that main road and put them left and right down the road. Okay, so we've got the Velociraptors and the Ceratosaurus, and in this one, let's see which ones we put in there. Make sure your stats are up. Doesn't look like I'm ready just yet. I'm probably waiting for the genomes to get higher. Try and get them, I like to get them above 90% and then give it a bash. Because a couple of failed dinosaurs can turn the tides against you. And again here I would probably do the power upgrades and then the speed upgrade 3 for the hatchery. I can also assume that in the Jurassic difficulty there's going to be a lot more use of the ACU center, so a lot of the research and time is going to have to be put into upgrading that for dinosaurs that escape, if they do, or probably when they do. Yeah, I'm keen to give it a bash. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with the Dilophosaurus, one of my favorites. And he's going to be in here with, I think, the Metricanthosaurus, but I'll have to confirm that. Let's get some water in there. And again, what I was saying in the previous video, I'm not going for, you know, attractive park. I'm just going for the stats. Whereas other parks, you like to spend a bit of time making it a bit easier on the eyes. So I would do this gate thing a bit differently. I would do a gate in the middle of both, and then they're able to go to either paddock. I'm pretty sure everyone's got their own strategy on the entrances and exits to the paddocks. And I like to do the double gates because I've had several times where dinosaurs have run through as the guys are going through, which is quite possible. Which is why I save every half an hour won't hurt. So here I am upgrading my fences to the electric concrete, I think it is, or it's just electric. Can't see it from here really. And it won't place there because it's too close to a dinosaur. Yeah, this is just heavy electric fence. And this is going to be desperately needed for the Velociraptors, who go absolutely tits up in a storm. Every time they will attack the fences, and if they're not strong enough, they will get through in one storm. As I was editing this video a bit later on, there were a lot of things that I was saying to myself, like, why the hell did I do that? But I find myself sitting here commentating on what I did a couple of days ago, and I'm not under the pressure I was under then. Like, you know, what I'm saying, the increased heart rate, getting close to the time, what can I do, what can I do? And there's so many things that I would do differently, but this is all going to be reflected in the Jurassic difficulty, so that's going to be pretty much my primo playthrough on everything I do correctly. So even once you've watched this video, you could even go check that one out, because that'll be the island setup that I keep referring to. 12 hours, I wonder. Sure, that's a long bloody play. Obviously it doesn't have to be done in one sitting, but still pretty long. Okay, so the Metricanthosaurus and the Baryonix is what I'm after here now. Selling anything else that's not needed. And again, just a touching on the fossils. Do the stronger ones first, so there's a chance they might be completed, and you can sell the lesser strengthed ones, and this only applies if you're above like 90-95% on a genome. Okay, so Dilophosaurus, out he goes. Make sure the park's ready. Upgrade, so probably I would do... Okay, there's no more buildings we're going to do.
This dinosaur, the Dilophosaurus, lacks front-facing binocular eyes, a trait common to almost every predator. So instead, it hunted by scent. And now, many predators rely on that sense as well.
Thanks, genius. Okay, so I don't think there's any more fossils except for the ones like I said before. Indominus and Indoraptor. And I most definitely turned those contracts off in sandbox mode. So at this stage I'm still cancelling them. But honestly, I wouldn't bother with that now. I'll just focus on the park, and if you happen to get one, or you've seen one that's been there for a long time, then maybe just do one or two, but the amount of money you get from it, not worth it. Okay, storm warning. Now, the game will do an autosave just before the storm, but you could probably manual save yourself, because, you know, shit happens. Okay, so storm warning. What you have to look out for is the Velociraptors. And what I'm doing here is probably not the right thing.
This solid and can really help the entertainment division, so please consider it.
What I would do here is zoom back on the park and equip your ranger, and then the second the building gets damaged, you'll see a spanner sign above it. So like I do here, just select, nope, don't drive vehicle, that's so irritating. So select your ranger and just select add task, and now just wait, and you can see one pops up immediately. And then another thing, be sure when you do repair a building like I'm doing here, don't use the ranger that you've already selected. Go over to the building, then select a ranger, because it'll auto-select the closest ranger station.
I've seen some interesting opportunities come my way since I've been here. Like this one, which I now offer to you.
Each new discovery furthers our understanding. It's valuable work. Take it.
So what I'm going for there is the Tyrannosaurus now, the genome, while finishing off these guys, Metricanthosaurus and Dilophosaurus. Tyrannosaurus again going for there. Let us see what we've got. Do we want another Anky? I'm not sure. We need 4 Ankylosaurus in there. Now if I had to do this again now, I would do this in the center. See here I'm trying to get the coverage on the right, or our left of it. And then just build 2 lookout towers down each side, and I would place those differently as well, like I mentioned in the first video. So that's the Nodosaurus, which we're going to be researching as well. We just need one of those guys. So here, massive fail. No, do not do curved roads like that. They are not going to help you. But hopefully in your case now, you're going to have the hotels way further back and you won't be
You never let your foot
constricted.
off the gas until that contract crossed the finish line.
I'll throw you over the finish line, you bastard. I wish I could turn those things off. The fact that they're just automatic, I mean...
We can always solve a few more
Yeah,
problems.
I think you,
So make
you
sure
know what
to
I mean.
review this contract.
So already I've spent too much time on these contracts, just forget them. With the money I've got there, there's no point in fucking around with them. Okay, Dilophos are coming out, and hopefully they're going to be happy. Fairly certain they will be.
Contracts make the world go round. Or is that money? Either way.
Okay, so he's happy. See again, poor placing of the power station. Definitely wouldn't put it there. I would build a road going up like I always do, further back. And then probably change that for a bigger one at a later stage, if it's needed. But again, Nodosaurus and Tyrannosaurus. Torosaurus don't need, I should sell that immediately. See those ones I don't need to do, just the Tyrannosaur. And not the Styracosaurus. Whatever the other one was. Okay, so who's up next? Ceratosaurus? Nope, not yet. Genome's not strong enough. So we have 6 Dilophosaurus in there. And their population cap is 12. Dilophosaurus are the best ones to use with large dinosaurs, because you can have the most of them in one social setting. And I used them a lot in my demo park playthrough with 300 plus dinosaurs in there, which I'll release hopefully by the end of today. Okay, so as I can see there's none of those dinosaurs I'm going to use. And there's the Metricanthosaurus. Diplodocus as well. We'll be using him a bit later. Check out the management view again, and I can see I need some drinks and some shopping and some fun. Now again, this is going to be made a lot easier when your hotels are further back. Plenty of room to put all these things down, whereas now I am struggling. Silly, silly, silly. So eventually got that down there. Now if you want to see what the park should look like, what I'm saying about the hotels being further back, once I've uploaded the first part of the Jurassic difficulty, you could probably have a look at that video and you can see where the hotels are, giving you a better idea of where to put them. So now I would probably do the hatchery speed. You don't need any of the genetic research. One hour 48, I think it is, or 45. So we got just over an hour of play. And we're going to do our single Nodosaurus. And I did have a comment on the previous video about someone not being able to create the dinosaurs that I have, and that's just because you have the deluxe edition and those dinosaurs come with it. And if you don't, if I do a Nodosaurus, just do another herbivore, small herbivore that can survive with a social meter of 0 to 1, or 0 to 2, or 0 to anything really, just so he can be on his own. Okay, Dilophosaurus is cooking in there. We're gonna fix up our fence. Okay.
I've just seen the report on your successful contract. Let's stay at this level moving forward.
Leave the contracts, leave them. Okay, Torosaurus, just sell it straight away.
I really like this one. I think you will
Maybe
too.
I do use it. I'll just have to check the description, see if I use it.
You've done good work in the past.
Don't think
That's
so.
why I know you are perfect for
Triceratops,
this
definitely,
contract.
obviously. And he's going to go into the pen number 2 over there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pens we got left to right. Okay, so with that money, I definitely should be checking out the guest requirements. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I need to place some more fun and some more food.
Solid. Thanks.
So again, struggling to find space, which hopefully you won't be in the same struggle.
So we should be glad to pay a slight increase in our fees. Of course, I don't have them, so it's going to be just you saddled with this bill. But I think I can speak for both of us when I say it's something we're willing to do. You know, I just realized that I speak for you a lot.
And I wish you would shut up. But this is what it is. You know, thinking about it now, I probably got quite lucky with this park, finishing it in 2 hours 57 minutes, because the placement and everything of those buildings is very constricted, not leaving me much room to do anything. So in the end, I actually got the dinosaur rating I needed by just incubating another dinosaur, and not even releasing it, just releasing it into the small paddock on the left, and the rating popped up, as you will see a little later. And I will take it, most definitely. It's not pretty, but it's there.
Okay, that was impressive.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, my Jurassic difficulty playthrough is going to be pretty much spot on, is what I'm hoping.
You delivered.
And hopefully we'll be their only guide on YouTube, which will be awesome. I think this one is currently.
An offer just came our way. Don't let it sit too long.
Okay, so looking at the population there, and keeping an eye on the dinos.
You've created a Nodosaurus. The name means knobbed lizard. It's a tough dinosaur. I guess you would be too with that name.
Okay, looking at some genomes here. We got another Dilophosaurus, not ready to be released. We have an Ankylosaurus right there, ready to go into his paddock. Digging. Tyrannosaur. It's kind of what I want, I think, at the moment. And there's going to be 3 dig sites just in close proximity of each other that actually have him.
I've looked this gig over.
Or her.
You should too. I mean, you know how to take pictures, right? Everybody does. So this next contract should be something that you can handle.
The Diplodocus and Metricanthosaurus still cooking.
That's the job done.
And there's the Metricanth dig site.
It's a dangerous world. And this place makes it more dangerous.
Yeah,
This
I can't describe how
contract can help
irritating
us
these
with
contracts
security
are,
here.
man. They just say the same shit over and over again. It's so irritating. Unfortunately, you can't actually turn anything off in the normal campaign mode. Or the challenge mode, at least. Okay, arcade needs power, and we have a feeder.
I've got a new offer for you to review.
Okay, no need for a big one there. As you can see, it's just going to fit right there. Okay, Dilophosaurus is viable genome, but we're going to do a couple more. And again, with this corner of the map, for some reason, it staggers so badly. As you can see, when I get to the top left corner of my map, to where the entrance of the park is, so irritating. And you just kind of hope on the PS4 Pro with the added memory and stuff that kind of thing wouldn't happen. But it does, and on my park with 300 dinosaurs, it lags so badly. Curious to see what it's going to look like in a video, if it's as bad or not. Okay, I've got some money to spend. I probably should be spending it.
We can always use a few more resources. Here's our chance to earn some.
Okay, again with the management view. And we're going to need some shopping to go on there. But stupidly, no space. Also in a more difficult mode, you're probably going to want to put a ranger station this side as well as an ACU, because you're going to need tons of guys doing feeders as well as medicating dinosaurs. And the more you have, the more chance you have them have the disease not spread, that is. So you have to create entrances to the paddocks on the north and the south side. But for this level, just on the south is fine. Okay, I've got 2 Metricanths cooking in there. And then I need 12 Dilophosaurus in that paddock. So the facility's looking good. I just need visibility, which is the lowest stat there, 24. So slot the lookout towers. And again, in the previous video I mentioned how differently I would place these, in such a way that there will be no gaps on the dinosaur paddocks, creating maximum visibility. But there are no mistakes if you learn something from them, and I most certainly did on this playthrough. And probably with the Jurassic difficulty, you have to do a manual save, sure, I don't know, what, every hour and a half. And then if you mess up, you can start by loading up the first one, give yourself an hour and a half to prepare for what's coming, and do a bit of a save scum. Okay, the Metricanths are almost done. And that's going to be completing our 4th paddock. That's if we have 12 Dilophosaurus in there. Okay, there they go. We need some power over there.
Okay, Dr. Dua tells me that this dinosaur of yours, the Metricanthosaurus, is a bit of a mystery. Maybe we can learn more about it as a result of your work.
Okay, looks like we're going to start paddock 5 here. So now with these things, the lookouts, you kind of aim the line of sight down with the fence. But at this point I was just trying to cover that gap in the middle. I probably should have. But on this difficulty setting, they're not as brutal with the visibility stat.
I never doubted you. Which is to say, I did have some doubt.
So we got some Tyrannosaurus and Dilophosaurus in there. And the Torosaurus I probably didn't need. I mean, you'll get familiar with the dinosaurs that you're going to be using and the ones you're not.
Hey, just heard of a great opportunity we should get behind.
I had notes coming out of the wazoo here. sticky notes all over my monitor, which ones to sell, which ones not to. Well, this is only after I did this one, obviously. Okay, let's have a look. So we got those guys in there, and the gate is open. That's one mistake I made with the next park with 300 plus dinosaurs is you do a paddock like I've got between paddock 1 and 2 over here, and then a little fence surrounding that, smaller paddock so you can transport animals. But if you're looking at the stat with the gate open and it's okay, then you close the gate, it's going to reduce that stat. So when I was just had enough grassland or forest, then I would close the gate and that stat would go into the red. So you've got to be careful with that as well. With the management staff, I'm not sure what's actually happening with this. I mean, I always normally sell the most expensive thing and make it the most expensive, but the second you get to earning 0, just stop before that. And then if you want to do the management view, which is either shopping or fun or drinks, you can do that, and I'm assuming it helps because when you go back to it, it's not selected anymore, which is quite irritating. So I'm not actually sure, but if you're actually watching buildings around you while you change that, you can actually see the stats change or the colors of the buildings change for the requirements. That's under the management view of each shop. 10, 11, I think there's 11 or 12 in there. Okay, stats are looking a bit better. Now we need some more stuff down this end. And again, I've just cramped myself up there. You just build roads going straight up to the edge of the park right from this location, and you'll have tons of room to place these things. Oodles, in fact. So like, yeah, I should put it behind that building to the right, facing right, and then build a road going straight up. Or even a road in between that would help. But I think at this point, for some reason, I wasn't thinking that process. But like we said, you know, if you learn, you learn. You do better the next run. Okay, so I think I'm still going for Tyrannosaur, yeah. The Brachii, definitely going to be extracting that. And we don't need the Archaeornithomimus. Although he can help for filling up small herbivore or large herbivore paddocks. And that's pretty much what my next video is going to be on. With the 300 plus dinosaurs is which dinosaurs can go with which dinosaurs. And it's not just the compatibility, it is the population cap. So for instance, in my first paddock I've got 25, I think it's Struthiomimus, with 25 Edmontosaurus, and that's pretty much maxing out that pen, and that's how you do it. It doesn't always work out that way because with the large dinosaurs and the small dinosaurs,
Great thing about success.
you can still put them together, but you won't be able to fill the population cap because of the large dinosaur. You just put in what you can. I'll go into that in a lot of detail in the next video. And I really hope at some stage they introduce the, I can't remember its name, but the water-based dinosaur in the Lost Kingdom at the start. And I mean, you'd think it's not too difficult to create a building that has a water source or something. I mean, how amazing would that be? And even being able to increase the water area to go, you know, around the park like a moat or something, and to have actually water-based dinosaurs. I mean, the room for expansion in this is endless. There are so many dinosaurs, flying ones as well. I mean, cages. I really hope they're planning on doing stuff like that because it is an amazing game. They could just fix some of the lagging bugs. So at this point, I've got one to the from the left to the right. Now I would probably go further up and angle it down a bit just to cover the gaps. Because if you create gaps, for instance in what I just did there, you're not going to be able to cover them because you won't have the space to place something else. Well, I would assume you won't. So again, my hotel's too close. So here I'm going to go up until it starts going to negative, and then leave it. And always increase the staff to max because that allows them to cater for more people. And another one, what I was mentioning in my previous video, is to keep your park capacity below 10%. And if you're standing at 8, 9 or 10%, I would still build a hotel because it'll fill up pretty quickly, and that has a massive effect on your facility rating at least. So I was lucky to get away with that one. The tracks do not like hotels. I definitely shouldn't have placed that. So I think I'm going to try and go behind this hotel, but I would probably go from this point. Good. Let's see if we can squeeze back behind it. Yes, it looks like it can. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to have to power the sucker. Okay, still on the Metriacanth, which I probably don't need. I would be focusing on the Tyrannosaur and the larger herbivores, Diplodocus, Edmontosaurus, and the Brachiosaurus. And the Camarasaurus, I think it is. The Polycanthus we don't need. Metriacanth we've built already, so you probably could sell those. Or should we say I've engineered already. And straight away there I see some research on the disease, which I'm going to need to do immediately. See here again, placement not good. I can't keep the road going straight, so I do go back a touch there, but the road is about as straight as Queen was, which is not very... I'm actually getting excited now. I think I'm going to start the Jurassic difficulty the second I have done this commentary. I do have 3 fantastic days off over the weekend. Just changing all the walls to concrete electric now. A necessity. Maybe not so much in this one, but definitely around the Velociraptors you want to do that, because like I was saying before, they just attack everything during the storms. And even one releasing of a dinosaur, or escaping should I say, is going to screw your park rating completely and take you a lot of time to round them up. So I would probably load my game. So I just need to do those 2 fences in there around the carnivorous creatures. Okay, Tyrannosaur. No, we're going to go for the Metricanthosaurus. Oh, Baryonix as well is there. And still with the Tyrannosaur. And then the one with the herbivores as well, which will help. Normally the large herbivores are more to the southeast. So Polycanthus. What else we got there? Metriacanth. Again, you could sell that. Tyrannosaur, definitely research, although I am above 90. As you can see here, I cancelled them to do the stronger one first, because it is above 90%. So, we're going to start paddock 5. We have some power issues because of the new electric fencing. See over here as well, I would most definitely clear the trees and make that a bit straighter. Okay, I think that's going to take us to 12 Dilophosaurus in paddock 4. So again with the Tyrannosaur. He's almost there. And we can sell the Pachycephalosaurus. So, starting paddock 5. Yeah, so paddock 5 we're going to have the Baryonix times 2, and the Dilophosaurus, or sorry, the Deinonychus is going to be 8 in there. Polycanthus, not essential. And I can see again some disease there. And there is the Indominus. And then some more disease. Make sure you get these done ASAP. That is going to be a challenge.
I think we can both agree that without the Hammond Foundation, none of this would be here. So we should be glad to pay a slight increase in our fees. Of course, I don't have them, so it's going to be just you saddled with this bill. But I think I can speak for both of us when I say it's something we're willing to do. You know, I just realized that I speak for you a lot.
Jesus, that's painful. I mean, sure, have some commentary now and again, but to have repeat ones? Not cool. So again, heading for the Tyrannosaur and some of the larger herbies. Getting ready for the next paddock, or the one following this one. I don't think I'm sure at this stage about the Torosaurus, because I don't seem to be doing anything with the dig-ups, or the fossils. I think I'll research it in the end.
The Indominus Rex is a magnificent creature. If evolution had the time, well, we've just hurried things along a bit. And the result is nothing short of spectacular, so don't dilute the value of my work, or you'll be dealing with me directly.
Sounds like a threat. I'll probably take it as one. He can come visit the park and I'll release it. Okay, so here comes a storm. Probably slap in a save, a manual save now. Or you could watch out for the auto-save. Okay, I thought I'd get a couple cooking before the storm. And there's the Baryonix at 100%. And we're going to slap 2 of those in incubation. Make sure upgrades are there. Which I probably should have done a long time ago, especially with the power plants. Not sure why I was fixated on the Baryonix, because he is already 100%. So I should be focusing definitely on the repair of my buildings, which I wasn't doing there. As you can hear, the Velociraptors start their shit, and they will attack the fence with every storm. And like I mentioned earlier, if you only have a fenced fence,
dinosaurs the right environment if they're going to thrive.
yeah, so if you have them in a normal fence, they will break through. See, it's just his comfort from the storm. Also, I get into the next video on the 300 plus dinosaurs about the way that Velociraptors and the smaller carnivores do actually coincide with the larger ones, but when they're trying to feed, if the large dinosaur is near, then they won't actually feed, so they can become starved, which can suck. Only way to remedy that is to have more feeders or a larger area.
Proceeding to the feeder now.
Oh, I'm not sure if I cancelled it there. Okay, Dilophosaurus is next. Just getting the layout and doing the next paddock to see what I can work with. And I'll probably be a lot more careful with the way I place this. I'm leaving a large gap along the right hand side there. I'll probably take away the trees and do it as precise as possible. But I think at this stage now, I was kind of in a rush mode, realizing that I still had at least 3 more paddocks to build, one of them being the biggie. So this is paddock 6. And in there, we're either going to have the Indominus or the Tyrannosaur on their own. They cannot have anything else with them. Or the Tyrannosaur, you can have large herbivores, but the Indominus, nada. Taurosaurus, I seem to be... yeah, no, don't research it. Pachycephalosaurus. And definitely do the disease, as you saw there. There was some research to do. Okay, having a look at the management's looking good. Just need some fun. I mean, Jesus, you're at Jurassic Park. Not having fun? Let's go to the arcade, rather. No, it. Yeah, the arcade gives you 4 stars for fun. That is what I was looking for. Now I can see I'm definitely in some sort of rush mode, or the start thereof. As you know, I did only do it by the skin of my teeth. Hopefully with the tips given, you will do it in a much quicker time. Okay, the live feeders for these guys. And I definitely wouldn't place them like that. I would put them at either ends of the paddock, either corner, each corner, or the 2 corners diagonally, so the guys can feed without being scared away. Even though they probably still will, but that's not permanent. Well, yeah, unless it is permanent because you don't have enough feeders or something, but I'm saying with enough feeders. Okay, so there's the Brachie. He's starting there, because he is going to go into pen 6 on the right, or paddock 6. Let's get some water in there. You do not need a lot at all. A couple of patches would do. Okay, these guys are ready. And we're going to start the Dilophosaurus. Not sure what percentage he was on there, but I don't think I care at the moment. Okay, so now I'm thinking, while I'm getting the genomes for those paddocks I've done, I need to start building the next paddock. At this stage, yeah, I would build the next paddock, but also keep a watchful eye on the facility rating, the park rating, because that can be difficult if you're being rushed at the end because of the crappy layout I've done here. So food for the 2 watchtowers or lookout towers and this hotel. So we've got to slap one over here somewhere. Right there is good. That's a good placement. Probably the only one. So again with this one I would line up the right hand side of the sight line with the fence, or in this case the left side. So there's no gap in between. Poor placement, John. So yeah, at this stage definitely try and do all 3 things. The main thing is the dinosaurs releasing, as well as the dig sites of the large herbivores, and then the facility rating, which is pretty much what the game's about, let's be honest. And then the one thing I don't do enough of is the research, although I'm probably waiting for something I absolutely need until I get to the point where it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm definitely in rush mode now. The second you release the Indominus and Indoraptor, your dinosaur rating shoots up, as well as the T-Rex. So here at this point I need to give these, or this hotel, a specific amenity, but there's no space. I'm pretty sure you'll have loads of space. So that was a mission, try and get a path to that thing. Okay, so he failed. Boo. We're gonna try again anyway. 2 hours 22. Which leaves us with about 35 minutes for the time that I got it to. So 38 minutes from now it stops. That's how close it was. And there is a storm that hits just before the 3-hour mark as well. And that always drops your rating for both dinosaurs and the facility. But there is enough time for it to recover. And it will, or should. So this is going to be the 7th paddock. And in there we're going to have our large herbivores. Yeah, definitely on rush mode now. At this point I genuinely didn't think that I would be able to do it. So I was kind of rushing, as you can see. But also just trying to see how close I can get to the 3-hour mark in case it goes over. And sticking to the guns, or my guns, it worked out, thankfully, because starting from the 4th star again can be quite a beach. But I managed to slap it out the 2nd time. After a bucket load of research. Yeah, definitely rushing here. You can even do that straighter, quicker. Okay, so got there in the end. Expeditions, we have again the large herbivores. Yep, there's no market for the Paki. And Brachiosaurus at 69. He is going to be the next one. So here we have the Indominus.
Confirmed.
So it looks like I went with the Indominus instead of the T-Rex in the first paddock. You're going to need a total of 2 T-Rexes. One's going to be in the large herbivore paddock, and one should be on his own.
I'm not quite sure what you're doing here, other than playing with fire. An Indominus Rex? You're creating a hybrid, a dangerous hybrid. You're not only creating life, you're condemning it. Hopefully not your own.
This bloody corner, and it's staggering. It's so irritating. Staggers so badly. Sure. I'm not sure if it's got something to do with the way I'm recording, because obviously I can't record in 4K, but I'll play in 4K when I can. But the HDR effect doesn't come through. It's just a 1080p feed.
Transporting asset.
So I needed to put a lookout tower right there to get the bottom half of the 7th or 6th paddock at least. So coming up to 3.5 stars. Again, research the bloody disease. At this point, there aren't a lot more genomes that you need. So you'll be selling anything that you can. Sometimes there isn't a market for them. Okay, let's release some Deinonychus. We need 8 of these guys. Now, the reason I don't check the dinosaurs that much is because this is trial and error. I know that having this size paddock with those dinosaurs is going to be okay. And again, with the powers, I would build a straight road all the way down to the south. I know I've said it before. And then do all your power plants down the south against the back of the actual area. But like I said before, it's easy for me to sit here and judge because I'm not feeling the pressure. I start checking that way more often than usual.
Delivery complete.
So I'm thinking here now that I need at least 2 more paddocks. So here we go. With probably the Brachys. Diplodocus. Okay, 3 Diplodoci. I don't know if that's right. So here we're going straight for the herbivores. But I think at this point all the extractions are done for the dinosaurs that I need. I'm not 100% certain. Let's see what I do here. Pachy, don't need. Brachiosaurus, I'm doing the Camarasaurus, I think it's called, and the Diplodocus, just in case they fail. Yeah. Research, John. Go to research.
Resupply request acknowledged.
So we need 8 of these guys in here. 8 or 6, is it? I think it's 8. Slight power problem down there. As you can see here, you need to touch more grassland, which is going to be easily done. Have loads. There we go. He's cool. And he will be on his own for the entire time. Just touching up on the last of the extractions. And let's see what dinosaur's done. But we have to sort out the visibility for every paddock you build. My idea was to get them out as quickly as possible, the dinosaurs, not focusing on the facility as much. And then the remaining minutes that I'll have, slap down as many shops as I can because they're fairly quick. Tyrannosaur is complete. I wasn't quite ready for it yet, although I probably should get it cooking. Yeah, I do need some more Camarasaurus. I think that's what it's called. It's the only one that's kind of lacking. These guys are almost done. Yeah, I think at this stage the selling of these things should be not even a priority. Although the Indoraptor is fairly expensive. So looking at the end, just need some food and drink. So almost there. Check the overcrowding, make sure it's below 9% or 8%. And it is not. And this is what kind of turns the tide for me. This has a massive effect on the facility rating when you reduce the capacity or the overcrowding. Should have seen that coming. So over here I should have built probably to one side Actually, no, I think I got lucky because I was able to put a viewing platform just to the left of the hotel in that gap. And I think I actually get the 5-star just before I do that. So over here they needed the bar, and this is what you can do on the other side. This kind of concept where you build a hotel right at the back with a long road, and then bang, you just slap down your shops. So much easier. Coming up to the 4th star overall. There's the Camarasaurus, which I need. Now the herbivores do prefer forest, so I probably would have thrown them out and see what happened. Probably should have thrown them out. Now watch the facility rating, or the overall rating is going to jump up with the hotel. It normally does. Takes a couple of minutes maybe. There it goes.
Well done indeed. Everyone at the Hammond Foundation knows you by reputation at this point. Your park rating has improved.
Okay, so 4th star research. Here's what I should have done there. Thought I was nearly there. Okay, so we need one more of those guys to make 8. Dig sites again, I'll probably not do them as much. 88% is okay. It's going to go up a bit more. But money is short now, so this is actually a necessity. Now that I look at it.
Diplodocus. It's fun, right? Diplodocus. I mean, the name, Diplodocus. It's fun to say.
Alright. I think I end up altering that fence so I can get something else in there. Okay, so disease contracted. Now this should probably prompt me to go to my research, where you need to promptly research the Indoraptor. It's pretty much the last research. Unless you want to do some speed upgrades, which you probably will do.
Adding task.
Okay, so we need to power these guys to get the visibility up. Although the facility rating is good, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but the dinosaurs are the ones that need work. And I've got over 300 dinosaurs, and I still don't have the dinosaur rating at green. It'll be 5, but the number of dinosaurs is never the luminous green, as in you've achieved it, because if there's any dinosaur in your park that has population available, then it'll reduce that stat. But obviously with certain animals, certain dinosaurs, you can only have a certain population, so you're kind of stumped with that. Okay, so we have the Brachie coming out now, or soon. 2 hours 35, 22 minutes, or 23. Research, John, research. Wasn't checking my notes here, unless I've done it. Yeah, I think this is where I alter the paddock there, or I do it just after this. Got to release those Diplodocus.
No diseased dinosaurs detected.
Well, that's fantastic. Power, power, power. So this means I need power, and not just a wire. See, this is when I realize I've got to upgrade. Nope, I decide to go here. Release these guys, and hopefully I'll go back to the damn research. Get rid of these buildings. Nothing more going to go in those paddocks. It's pretty you can't move them. Okay, third Brachie on the cook. So touch on the island and quite a bit on the dinos.
Feeder supplies inbound.
So 3%, was it 13%? 13%. I do build another one here. But I should look at that research. Definite rush mode now. Again, wasn't thinking I'd be able to do it. But just building where I can, when I can. Come on, go to the research. Chopstick. Don't waste your time doing this, like I said. Although there is a money shortage, just as before. Yeah, I guess definitely if there's stuff to sell, do it. But I don't look at the research again. It's starting to irritate myself now. Brachies are cooking. Diplodocus. Here we go. The Indoraptor. I researched that at 238, so if you happen to be in this dire situation, you know it's possible.
No problem.
Get some power in there. And that's again going to bump up the rating. Well, hopefully. Yep, went up almost to halfway.
Oh, a Brachiosaurus. Wonderful. Our guests enjoy the large dinosaurs.
So the fun rating is the lowest there of 71%. So I've got to sort that out. Just making sure which ones I've got there. So the Diplodocus, Brachie, and then the Camarasaurus. And then we're going to see the rating jump up a little bit more, hopefully. Got to get some power over there, so the facility rating will go up for the transport. But we can add upgrades to the one I built. And this is the jaggedy corner, the staggering effect. Okay, so I'll put 3 on all of them, making sure your outage protection is also 3. I'll always put the outage protection first. Okay, now we're going to start the Camarasaurus right there.
More money for the Hammond Foundation.
2 minutes 40, or
Your
2
fees
minutes,
are
2
increasing.
hours 41. So need the cash now. Sell them all if you can. That one will research for the hell of it. Alright, that's the third Brachie. So 3 Brachie and 3 Diplodocus in there now. At this point, I decided to incubate something. Well, okay, not exactly at that point, but to incubate something like I said at the beginning, where I was just below what I needed to get, and I just released the dinosaur into that small enclosure. See, unfortunately, right there, I cancelled my complete Brachiosaur.
The Indoraptor is a special project
yeah,
of mine.
that's not going to
So
bode
the
well.
fact that you've taken an interest in it means that I've taken an interest in you. Consider yourself watched.
Yeah, so that was a massive fail. But again, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to complete it. I just wanted to see how quickly I could do it. So I thought, fuck it, let's just continue, see what happens. So the welfare of the dinosaurs is just because it's too small, the enclosures are quite small, and they have to run around looking for food, especially the medium carnivores with the smaller carnivores. But we're going to slap up some fun here. Super speed mode now. Some clothes shop as well. And some chow. Okay, that's on 6% I think it was, which is cool. Well, this guy needed something as well. At this point I didn't think at all that those guys were going to be cooked in time. No need for that one. Yeah, at this point I thought, okay, well, let's just incubate something else so I can just release it. I still need to do the Indoraptor. After that I think I do a T-Rex again. Well, not again, I have to do one in the herbivore enclosure, the large herbivore, this one. So that's unfortunate again. Incubation failed at 88 I think it was, I'm not sure. It is always risky. So again, you could save yourself a lot of time by maxing out your genomes first. And you can save a lot of time, yeah. It takes a fair amount of time for those guys to cook. Just having a look at what I can sell. Okay, a bit further ahead, we're looking at 4.5 stars now. The overcrowding is fine. Should I say the overcrowding stat? So the Brachies are happy. So I'm busy waiting for the Indoraptor, I would assume. And I've got the cash, so I'll probably be building another pen to throw something in. Ceratosaurus needs to be done. Oh no, it doesn't actually. It's just the Diplodocus, Brachiosaurus and Camarasaurus. And the next video I'm going to release, I've mentioned before, I want to have the maximum amount of dinosaurs on the island. Well, almost max, 300 plus. And the Edmontosaurus and the, I think it's the Struthio or the Archaeonothomimus, they have the largest population of 25, so you can have 25, well 12 each, and then something else, because their social meter is the one that will cap you in the end, but they have a very large one as well, so they're a good combination. But yeah, if you're keen to check out the types of dinosaurs for types of enclosures and pairing dinosaurs, then stay tuned. It's going to be released definitely later today. The Apatosaurus still there, don't really need it.
En route to feeder.
Okay, still waiting on that Indo. Let's get it ready with some chow. He's going to be in there on his own. Let's get rid of some trees. I wasn't 100% certain what his paddock was, or needs to be, but that looks plenty big enough. And we're going to slap a viewing platform as well. At this point, I'm not adjusting it just off the fence, just getting it done. Okay, so Brachies are almost done. Now I'll just start slapping shops down wherever I can. Once you drop an Indo, it's meant to be it. So just go crazy on anything you can. Unlucky with the terrain there. Found a spot. Okay, 2 hours 47. 10 minutes left. Although it won't represent the exact time in the video here, obviously, because I do skip pauses and stuff like that. 4.5 stars. And we got 3 Camaras coming out. And like I said, there comes the bloody storm. Facility's almost there, but as you can see, it drops down quite heavily at the start of the storm. It will go up again. Okay, so now we need a T-Rex in here. And that is going to complete this paddock as soon as I can afford it. And there start the Velociraptors again, so at this point I was like, fuck it. There's no way I'm going to do it. But the time does seem to go a bit slower. There we go, okay. That's the end of that storm, now it's the home stretch. Velociraptor still going tips up. There's the last Camarasaurus, and now we need the T-Rex in there. So this is when I was saying, okay, 2 hours 50. I have 10 minutes. Is that going to cook in time? And then the Indoraptor should be done as well. No money. I'm at the mercy. So that overcrowding stat was 17, which is way too much. Way too much. I'm going to have to put a hotel down if I want any chance of doing this. So I've got my Indominus and my T-Rex cooking, which were officially the last ones I thought I'd need to do. And then I think once I place... I'm not actually sure what the last kick was, but we'll definitely have a look now. Now this is what I would have done in the beginning. Build a long road all the way back. You have plenty of room either side to build whatever you want. Super easy there. Okay, so he's on 24%. Wasn't certain at this time. Obviously the Indo was going to come out and make an appearance. But I need the hotel. There we go. Make sure he's connected. Nope, don't think he is. Yes. Got to get some power in there, same time. So super rush mode. Didn't think in a million years it would happen. But if you look at the rating now, it's gone up 4 3/4 maybe. Indo's time. Get him tranked. Understood. Now my other game as well, if I have 2 ACU centers, I'll send both helicopters, especially for the smaller dinosaurs, the smaller fast ones.
If I'm not mistaken, that's an Indoraptor. More weapon than attraction, right? Just keep it away from the guests, please. Unless we can charge more to see it.
Okay, so there he is. Skipped ahead a bit. Had to wait a long time for them to tranquilize him. And that's his paddock right there. He's got some chow. He does need some water, although he does have a little bit of water there. Okay, Tyrannosaur is out. The last one for this paddock. And I've got to make sure he's got some chow as well. For him to be happy. Okay, so close now. 55. Facility ratings almost there. That will be completely remedied by the hotel, which is going to kick in very soon.
Ah, yes, the tyrant lizard, the Tyrannosaurus rex. Favorite of early century fiction writers and adolescent children everywhere. And why? Because it represents everything that we fear about the past. It's what we believe that we've conquered, even though it ceased to exist before humanity had reached the proto-ape stage. And that was true. Until now. Until you.
Oh, Malcolm, you're the best. So I can hear a dinosaur bashing a wall somewhere. Not sure where that is, or if I have the time to figure it out. The Tyrannosaur is cooking, just because I wanted something else cooking. Just in case. Okay, so crunch time now. 76 looks like the lowest one there. 75, the fun rating. Let's see if I can remedy that. But I still think that hotel's going to kick in, and it's going to give it to me.
Transportation complete.
So that was the placing of the Indoraptor, which took it in the end.
Have
There
you ever
it
wondered
is.
what it would be like to be the best in the world?
Well, there we go, guys. We have the time done. 2 hours, 58 minutes. I think it was 58. I thought it was 57. Anyway, I really hope that you found this guide informative. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I'm always going to answer every question, and in a timely manner as well. So as we have a look at the Deinonychus here, I am going to say farewell. And remember that there are plenty more guides coming up on this amazing game, including the pairing of the dinosaurs, which will be up later on today. So I want to say thank you so much for watching, guys, and I want to catch you on the next one.